Have you ever wondered what happened to Jinwoo's father? How did a man vanish into thin air, leaving his family to believe he was gone forever? Today, we unravel the dark, untold story of Il-Hwan, a father who fought through a decade of hell, not for glory, but for a chance to see his family again. 10 years before Jinwoo became the Shadow Monarch, his father, Il-Hwan, was just another hunter. A loving husband and a proud father to 2 young children, his life was ordinary yet precious. He wasn't the strongest, not an S-rank powerhouse, but he was dependable. He entered dungeons to provide for his family, a risk he took with a brave face. But one fateful day, the gate he entered wasn't like the others. The raid began like any other. The air crackled with mana, and the stench of monsters filled their nostrils. Il-Hwan and his team pushed forward, clearing floors with practiced efficiency. But something was wrong. The dungeon felt endless, deeper and deeper they went, and the monsters grew stronger, more grotesque. The dungeon's architecture shifted, its pathways twisting into an impossible labyrinth. Panic began to set in. One by one, his comrades fell. The screams echoed in the cavernous halls, a grim soundtrack to their despair. Il-Hwan fought with everything he had, his blade a blur of desperate motion. But soon, he was the only one left. Alone, the gate back to his world, back to his wife and children, had vanished. There was no exit. He was trapped in a living nightmare, an eternal prison teeming with beasts that wanted nothing more than to tear him apart. The first few days were a blur of terror and confusion. He called out for his team, for anyone, but only the growls of monsters answered. The crushing weight of solitude pressed down on him. Was this it? Was this where he would die, forgotten in a place that shouldn't exist? The faces of his wife, Park Kyung-hae, and his young children, Jinwoo and Jinha, flashed before his eyes. That's when despair transformed into a burning resolve. He couldn't die here. He wouldn't. Days bled into weeks, weeks into months. Il-Hwan learned to survive. He became a ghost in the dungeon's corridors. He learned the monsters' patrol routes, their weaknesses, their habits. He scavenged for anything edible, drank from glowing underground streams, and slept in hidden crevices, always with one eye open. His clothes were tattered, his body scarred, but his spirit, though battered, refused to break. Every monster he killed, every narrow escape, was a testament to his will. He didn't fight for levels or loot. He fought for the memory of his son's smile, for the promise of holding his daughter again. He would count the days, scratching marks onto a rock in his hidden alcove. 1 year, 2 years. The hope of rescue dwindled, replaced by the grim reality of his situation. The outside world had surely declared him dead. No one was coming for him. Years passed, 4, 5. The man known as Il-Hwan was fading, replaced by a hardened survivalist. His hair grew long and matted. His eyes held a haunted, predatory gleam. He had become part of the dungeon's brutal ecosystem. He fought not just beasts, but the madness that clawed at the edges of his mind. In this suffocating silence, he talked to himself, recounting memories of his family, keeping them alive in his heart to keep himself sane. He remembered teaching a young Jinwoo how to ride a bike, the warmth of his wife's hand in his. These memories were his shield against the encroaching darkness. He had no system, no divine power. It was just pure, raw grit. Every wound, every broken bone, he had to endure and heal on his own. He faced down creatures that would make S-rank hunters tremble, not with overwhelming power, but with cunning, experience, and an unbreakable will to live. He became a master of his environment, a true apex predator in a world designed to kill him. Then, after what felt like an eternity of struggle, something changed. He stumbled into a chamber unlike any other. It was vast, silent, and radiated an ancient, overwhelming power. In this center, ethereal, winged beings of pure light descended upon him. They were the rulers, the emissaries of the absolute being. They had been watching him. They saw his decade-long struggle, his indomitable spirit, his profound love for his family. They saw a vessel worthy of their power. They explained their ancient war with the monarchs and the coming cataclysm that threatened to destroy Earth. They offered him a deal: become their champion, their weapon against the darkness, and they would give him the strength he needed. For Il-Hwan, it wasn't a choice. It was a lifeline. He had no way to escape on his own. Accepting their power was the only path that could lead him back home. He accepted their mission, not for the rulers, but for his family. The rulers poured a fragment of their celestial power into him, transforming the weary survivor into a being of immense might, a hunter capable of standing against the very gods of destruction. But his return wasn't immediate. His mission began there, within the dungeon's depths, a secret war fought in the shadows. Even with this newfound power, he remained a prisoner, bound by his duty to the rulers. His decade of isolation wasn't over, but it now had a purpose beyond mere survival. Sungai Il-Hwan's 10 years in the dungeon was a crucible that forged an ordinary man into a legend. It's a story of a father's unwavering love, a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure the impossible. He didn't fight alone for the entire time, but his solitary struggle in the beginning is what proved his worth. He wasn't just saved by the rulers, he earned their intervention through sheer, unrelenting will. He is the unsung hero whose sacrifice laid the groundwork for his son's eventual rise. What do you think of this incredible tale of survival? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more untold stories from the world of solo leveling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.